This is a Maserati GranTurismo, a car that when it was brand new in 2012 cost nearly 150,000 US dollars. Adjusted for inflation, we're talking nearly $200,000. Now you can pick one up for less than $30,000. Now, this car is pretty dear to me because this is one of the cars that I grew up with seeing on the streets, brand new at the showroom, and I've always had a fascination for Maserati, just not for the $150,000 price. So let me just show you what you're getting for $23,000. First of all, you're getting a pretty attractive looking car. You got, of course, the beautiful Maserati front grille here with the trident in the middle. Very aggressive looking front end. And if you get, like, say, the MC Stradale or newer refreshed version of these GranTurismos, it gets even more aggressive. And if you look at the side profile of this car, it is a very good looking car, especially if you have it in a cabriolet form. The rear end is actually one of my favorite parts of this car, just because you don't have a lot of aggressive and craziness going on, but it looks rather muscular in a way, especially when you have these oval dual exhaust exits here, which changes depending on whether or not you get the MC Stradale, which has them in the middle, or if you get the GranTurismos from the earlier years that have the quad tip exhaust setup. The interior is actually one of the cool parts about GranTurismos. The Maserati GranTurismo had a copious amount of different types of exterior colors with interior color combination. This one is in like a silver metallic color with a very dark brownish interior, which I actually really like. I love that you have like the Maserati trident on all of the seats. Also pretty nice design here. I think it's very elegant looking car. I mean, it should for $150,000 brand new. Come on. Here is where there's a lot of controversy with the Maserati name and interior and all that stuff. It happens to be the steering wheel and the infotainment system here. Now, this is a 2012 model, so it did not have a touchscreen. The previous owner of this car actually had that aftermarket screen installed, which is frankly a must-have modification, because if you didn't, you would have the really ugly sticky button that it just, at the time, it may have been acceptable, but as the years progressed, up until 2018, you basically had the same interior from a 2012 and a 2017. So for almost 6 years, even more, 8 years of production or so, you actually had the same type of interior up until 2018. If I actually don't mind the steering wheel, I think it's, you know, it's a touring car, so I think it's a pretty normal one. I think the selling point of the GranTurismo, especially once you're talking about low to mid 20s, has to be the paddle shifters, and we'll talk more about that as we drive this car and take it out. I actually really do enjoy things like the tachometer, speedometer, and the different type of gauges that you have here in like that navy blue white color combo, especially when you color combine it with this brown interior or even another color like perhaps white or black. I think it's a really cool color, and during the nighttime you actually see that they light up in a green color, which I've actually never really seen another car do that. But I think the most valuable thing of the Maserati GranTurismo S for these prices has to be what is underneath the hood. You have a Ferrari-derived 4.7 liter NA V8, revs up to nearly 7,000 RPM. This particular model makes around 430 crank horsepower. Let's be honest, it's not a really powerful car, especially when you consider the weight. But again, this is a touring car. This is not to be racing. We're going to talk more about that as we drive the car, so you guys get an understanding and a visual of how it works. It's a pretty decent amount of power in today's day and age, considering that this is about to have a quinceañera, just so you understand how old this car is. But it has to produce one of the best sounding noises. Let me show you what I mean. me, it's one of the best sounding V8s and V8s, and you get some variations of the tone and the sounds depending on whether or not you get a Stradale, which is slightly louder than this. But again, for $20-something thousand, you get a pretty good sounding convertible, touring, or coupe car with a decent amount of power. All right, so now let's go ahead and take it out for a drive, and I'll tell you guys what it's like to really drive a GranTurismo S, and then afterwards I'll give my verdict. This is something that you should potentially buy for that price range, or should you save your money and save the headaches? He don't want to admit it, but this sounds really good. Oh my gosh! Nice little acceleration there, but the sound, holy shoot! Wow. Oh my God. The real big reason why you buy this car, wow, is that exhaust note. That sound is so intoxicating. Let's do it again. You don't even have to rev it up too high to get a good sound. I could literally do this all day. Upshift, downshift, upshift, downshift. It's literally amazing. Like the sound, I'm sorry, that sound is intoxicating as hell, and I honestly could never get tired of it. I really cannot think of other exotic sounding cars like the GranTurismo or the Quattroporte or anything with this 4.7 liter V8 that sound this good for the price. It's just not there. Wow, I mean, what a beautiful sound. Oh my gosh. Bruh. Testament to Maserati's build quality right here. Look at this. The paddle shifter trim just fell off. Oh my. Please, please. So we had to come up in a little bit of a braking situation there. Brakes are pretty good. I mean, again, this car does weigh way over 4,000 pounds, but it does brake sufficiently, and just like a touring car of this weight, as soon as you brake pretty heavily, the weight transfer is very apparent. That is really addicting. Look at this. I gotta let that Tesla know that, you know, he ain't the boss. He ain't the boss. So we just did a little first gear pull there, and while the shifters here feel fantastic, oh God, seriously? What the hell, man? Now, while the shifters feel fantastic, what they are engaging, that ZF transmission, it isn't the quickest for sure. I mean, a little bit of a delay there at the downshift and at the upshift as well. the backfire is also very tasteful. You get about 1 or 2 pops as soon as you let off the gas or shift or downshift. I mean, it's such a good sound from the factory. What a vibe. Top down, beautiful sounding V8. Paddle shifter that feel this good. Woo! Yeah, look right here. The car just literally moves like a boat. I mean, like there is no sense of being planted with this car at all. It's wavy. It's just very slow in that respect. I will say that for a grand touring car, or for a touring car that's a luxury first, sport second, it doesn't do a really good job absorbing bumps or imperfections on the road. Like, it is a very rocky experience. And I have it on sport mode right now. Actually, I had it on non-sport mode, which is more for exhaust and for engine revving. But in terms of like actual suspension work, I don't really see any difference between sport or comfort or normal mode. I guess it doesn't have active handling or active suspension work. I will say that it doesn't do a really good job absorbing the bumps, and you will pretty much feel almost everything. Now, mind you, it's not as back-breaking as, say, like a GT3 or something like that. It doesn't absorb it in a really seamless way. It honestly feels like your suspension is that of an economical car. But no economical car will give you that beautiful sound. It's not a very explosive transmission either. ZFs are, I mean, these ZFs at least, feel like it's a very smooth transmission. Now, smooth when you want to be aggressive. Like right now, that was a red line and I didn't get any sort of kick at all. It feels like I just went over like a little wave or a little bump. It's not as exciting. And when you redline it and, you know, you bang on the rev limiter, you get a little bit of the da-da-da-da-da-da, but it's not like violent. It's not a violent car. So if you're thinking that you're gonna get anything like that, you're not. But again, yeah, oh my gosh, going through the corners in this thing is so terrible. like it is not confidence inspiring at all. I'm not even worried about braking traction. I feel like I'm gonna flip the car. That's literally how it feels. But again, oh my God. Even though it's not a very impressive horsepower figure or the quickest transmission, it pulls its weight decently. And listen, if it's not fast enough for you, at least it'll sound like it is. Oh my God. But look, yes, it's not the fastest car. Yes, it's not the lightest car or best handling car at that. But this is an absolutely fantastic car for those sub $30,000 price. And obviously that depends on the years, the trim, if you get the Stradale or not. You are getting a fantastic, chill driving car. Well, guys, you saw what a very enjoyable and spirited drive we had with the GranTurismo S. I honestly can't even begin to tell you guys what a... Nice fake Lambo, bro.
I didn't think qualify to get one, man.
I didn't sell enough courses, guys. That's the...
Yeah, this is a Porsche seller car.
What's up, man? How's it going? Guys, this is the current owner and seller of
This beautiful one, and then this little thingamajigger over there, which we all have a little soft spot in our hearts for.
Well, I do. I hear you're just doing it for the camera.
So yeah, so the poor soul that got shafted when he purchased this car initially, feel sorry for him, but we need those people to get those deals. In today's market, you really can't go wrong with these cars. Yes, you're not going to say any lap records with it. You're not going to be able to pull up to like maybe like a billionaire's club with it, but it'll get the job done. You can pick up all the cougars, all the honeys, still look good.
For me, practicality, I just love the coupe a lot more. Also, less possible mechanical failures to happen with these things.
Yeah, but once you get into the convertible, it's hard to go back to the coupe, in my opinion, in this platform.
Cheaper than a brand new Nissan Sentra. The same car that almost hit you on the way to work.
Yeah,
that car.
with a terrible CVT. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The 4.7s honestly really don't have too many issues. The earlier 4.2s had a lot of timing issues with timing chains. Old sprockets overbrake all the time. And to be honest with you, the 4.2 has even less bottom end torque than this thing does. So I mean, it's not really worth it. So we can pick those things up for like 10 grand. This has more of a soul from the cross-plane V8 from Ferrari.
Guys, like, it's not that much the power. For me, it's the sound. The sound is what really sells it. And it's really the only reason why I would consider getting into debt for a car like this.
It's pretty bulletproof, yeah. As long as you don't have some papi chulo that's been the prior owner of the car, I mean, these are pretty bulletproof. You can even see here the valve cover gaskets are all brand new. It's very dry under there. The belt was done recently as well.
Oh God, look, it's so Italian. It's so Italian. Look at this. All the covers here, so you don't see what's going on.
They don't want you to be in there, yeah.
Yeah.
And the engine is almost not so much of a mid-engine car, but it's really in there into the firewall. But
yeah, it is actually, the positioning of the engine is slightly right before the wheel.
Like I was saying, I mean, these are pretty bulletproof. The only thing you're really going to have with these electrical problems depends on how the maintenance was in the history. That's a really big thing on these cars, like any other exotic sports car, you want to call it. I would definitely recommend swapping out the radio and the infotainment system on this car, because the factory one just belongs like it came out of a 1990 Fiero. Like, it just doesn't belong. It doesn't belong in this
Texas Instruments.
You have this beautiful Android retrofitted screen that has your Bluetooth audio, your Bluetooth connectivity. Surprisingly enough, these did not come with a factory backup camera until 2016, which is crazy for a $150,000 piece of.
My 5th Gen ZL1 from 2013 came with a backup camera and sensors.
And that's a Chevy. These are 6-speed ZF gearbox, so I mean, these are bulletproof, man. I would flush out the fluid probably every 55, 60,000 miles, and you'll be straight. You can beat the shit out of the car all day long, and you'll be fine.
What about suspension components? Are they known for?
I mean, they have these have what they call acceleration sensors, which are like ABS sensors, but they want to be fancy because they're Italian. So you've got one on the top, one on the bottom of each corner of the car. It's not a big deal. I mean, if you buy it brand new, you're probably looking at about $250 each, which is, you know, it adds up.
So if one of these things malfunctions, the car just won't?
No, you'll just get a little suspension light indicator on the cluster, and you'll still be able to drive. It's not like on the Benzes or the air suspension cars that, you know, you just rocking the Flintstone mobile. So it's shocking to say because of the brand and whatnot, but you know.
Question: does this have any sort of magnetic ride control or anything like that?
No, it doesn't have that.
Yeah, it's fixed.
It's fixed.
So it's a pretty rock solid car, you would say. I mean, hopefully if you get the right owner, previous owner.
It's all about the service records, and this one was a CPO car, have the full PPF on the front fascia, even on the mirrors. This one's going to be available to bid on to the highest bidder on Bring a Trailer on our account. We've got over 65 sold cars on there and growing, so this is going to be in addition to that.
It's definitely a very fun and exciting car to drive for the purpose of no sport, no racing, not setting lap times like you were saying before.
It's a grand touring.
It's a grand touring car, and it does a really good job, especially for the price of 23,000 around there. Honestly, I can't think of another car in the same class of touring, evening or day strolls. I can't think of any other car that sounds and looks this good for that price. Brother, thank you so much for letting me indulge in the Maserati dream experience. I mean, ever since high school, I've been enamored with the look of it, and after all these years that I've driven literally over 50 cars on the channel, and I've driven this, I'm actually very glad that I never had the ambition to buy this brand new because, oh my God, is it very underwhelming for that price range. And guys, if you enjoyed this video and found it informative and entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button. Helps out tremendously with the algorithm. Also, it showcases and puts out content from when Maserati was great. There's not enough of these cars on the internet. If you guys enjoy this content and you want to see more cars like this or cars even like this in the future, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and last but not least, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. All right, can you move your car now? Like I wanted to take a picture.